Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So, today we are exploring a topic that is honestly just surrounded by so much marketing noise and confusion. Yep, we're talking about liver function. We're going to walk through a plant based guide to metabolic health, and we are totally skipping the restrictive fads, the wild claims, and those crazy expensive supplements. Instead, we're just going to focus purely on the science of how your body actually works.
Okay, let's dive into this. We literally have to address the elephant in the room right off the bat. Do you really need a liver detox? I mean, we've all seen the detox teas, the 3-day juice cleanses. It kind of feels like every single January, we're told we absolutely must flush out our system. But let's take a step back and look at what the science actually says about this. Look, it is completely valid to want to give your body a reset, right? We all feel sluggish sometimes. But the truth is, you don't actually need to cleanse your liver, mostly because your liver is already this highly efficient built-in detoxification engine. The real detox is literally just your liver doing its normal daily job. So our goal here isn't to shock it with some short-term fad. It's to fuel it properly with plants so it can do exactly what it was naturally designed to do.
All right, moving into section 1, fueling healthy fat metabolism. This is the absolute foundation of liver health. Think of your liver as the ultimate master control factory for your whole body. It regulates blood sugar, it processes fats, it recycles hormones, and it safely removes metabolic byproducts. Now, what's really interesting about this is that there is a massive modern myth going around that carbohydrates are the ultimate enemy of this factory. Actually, scratch that. Carbs do not automatically harm your liver. When you eat whole food carbohydrates that are packaged with natural fiber, they're absorbed slowly. This actually stabilizes your blood sugar and significantly reduces metabolic stress. One of the biggest drivers of metabolic dysfunction is excess fat accumulating inside liver cells, right? And that's driven by insulin resistance and diets high in ultra-processed foods, not by whole plants.
So you might be wondering, what should we actually be eating to support all this? Well, here are the heavy hitters for fat metabolism. First up, legumes, like your beans and lentils. These guys are incredibly rich in resistant starch and plant protein, which consistently improve insulin sensitivity that helps stop excess fat storage right in the liver. Second, whole grains like oats and quinoa. Oats have beta-glucan, which is a soluble fiber linked to much better cholesterol metabolism. And third, you guessed it, leafy greens. Spinach and kale deliver essential nutrients like folate and magnesium, and they support cellular function without adding any extra metabolic burden to your liver's workload.
Let's move on to section 2, bile flow and antioxidant defense. Think of this as the liver's cleanup crew and security system. I really like to think of this phase as the liver's dedicated cleanup crew. Bile is absolutely essential for digesting fats and removing cholesterol from your body. So here is how it plays out on the factory floor. First, your liver is continuously producing bile. Second, your diet steps in. Soluble fiber from foods like oats or chia seeds acts like a sponge and actively binds to those bile acids right there in your digestive tract. Finally, because the fiber trapped them, all those waste products get safely removed from your body. To make new bile, the liver then pulls cholesterol straight out of your blood, which naturally supports healthy cholesterol levels. It's a brilliant, self-regulating system. Now, to keep that system flowing perfectly, we really need cruciferous veggies. We're talking broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These are completely packed with sulfur-containing compounds and glucosinolates, which are just phenomenal for supporting the liver's natural detoxification pathways and maintaining a really healthy inflammatory balance. Plus, throwing in some bitter greens, like arugula or dandelion greens, actually helps stimulate the digestive processes involved in bile production. And this brilliantly illustrates that beyond just cleanup, your liver needs a robust security system. Your liver is constantly dealing with oxidative stress just from doing its day-to-day job, processing nutrients, handling environmental chemicals, and managing normal metabolic byproducts. Antioxidants are your defense here. Berries are loaded with polyphenols and anthocyanins to protect your cells, while spices like turmeric, thanks to the curcumin in it, along with garlic and ginger, really support a healthy inflammatory response. Eating a wide, colorful variety of these basically gives you a broad shield of antioxidant security. All right, into section 3, the gut-liver connection. This is a truly powerful partnership. You know, you really cannot separate digestion from liver health. To get this, we have to talk about the gut-liver axis. This is the super close physiological connection where substances produced in your gut travel directly to the liver through something called the portal vein. Think of the portal vein as a direct superhighway. Whatever happens down in your gut microbiome has an immediate, profound impact on the liver's daily workload.
When we feed our gut properly, the benefits to the liver are just massive. First off, the fiber we eat acts as direct fuel for all those beneficial gut microbes. When bacteria ferment this fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids, which actively regulate inflammation. But most importantly, a healthy gut environment acts as a protective shield. It reduces the endotoxin burden. Specifically, it lowers the amount of inflammatory compounds, like LPS, that make their way into your circulation. So simply put, a happy gut means vastly lowered inflammatory stress on your liver.
Let's move to section 4 and see how this builds. Often overlooked nutrients, your secret support squad. We've talked a lot about fiber, sure, but the liver also relies on a secret support squad of specific nutrients to function at its absolute peak. First up is choline. You'll find this in soy foods, beans, and cruciferous veggies. Its main job is fat transport and maintaining the structure of your liver cells. Without enough choline, fat can start to accumulate in the liver. Next, we have protein, sourced easily from legumes, nuts, and seeds, which the liver desperately needs for enzyme production and tissue repair. And finally, methionine. An excessive intake of this amino acid, which usually happens with heavy animal protein diets, can increase your metabolic burden. But a varied plant-based diet naturally provides the perfect, moderate balance, giving the factory exactly what it needs to run smoothly without overworking it.
And that brings us to section 5, your daily plate blueprint, a super practical pattern for liver support.
Now, I really want to reassure you right now, you absolutely do not need an extreme restrictive diet to achieve incredible liver health. It really just comes down to a simple mathematical plate structure, the 50-30-20 rule. Imagine 50% of your daily plate is your foundation. That's your leafy greens and sulfur-rich cruciferous vegetables. 30% is your fuel, grains and legumes giving you fiber and steady energy, and that final 20% is your protective boost. Colorful berries, nuts, herbs, and spices bringing in those vital antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. If you construct your meals with this kind of balance, you are naturally providing everything your liver needs. No stress required.
So the crucial point is that consistency matters way more than perfection. Real liver support is not built by suffering through some terrible weekend cleanse or choking down a bitter detox tea once a month. It is shaped by the choices you make consistently over time. A nutrient-dense, fiber-rich plant-based diet creates the absolute optimal conditions for your liver to just do its job. You don't have to be perfect, you really just need a sustainable pattern of colorful, whole plant foods.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought today. Your liver is working incredibly hard for you literally every single minute of the day. So, are you feeding it what it needs? Remember, every time you sit down to eat, you have a brand new opportunity to work with your body instead of against it. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. Keep feeding that liver well, and I will see you next time.